Hello. Today we're going to be doing a variation on a lesson that I taught where we're incorporating nature and kind of a crayon wax resist lesson. So all you're going to need for this lesson is watercolor markers, some crayons, paper, and water. So to do this, all you want to do is start making some abstract type shapes, and you want to scatter them around. Now I also want you to think about leaving one focal point in the center here, and you want to make your shapes a little bit smaller as they are in the middle there towards the center of the paper. And as you can see, I'm really just adding shapes in randomly. Make sure you finish all of them off. You want to make sure that every single shape has a really good solid outline, a closed shape, because you don't want your markers bleeding all over the place. So that's my first color green, and then I'm going to add some more in, and some of them I may have them overlapping with my other shapes. Okay, so let's get this finished, and this is a really quick activity. I actually went to a summer camp and presented this as a lesson for the kids, and we did it in under an hour. So that's, and it's kind of tricky because it was on picnic tables, but the kids did a great job and had lots of fun doing it. Okay, now with my brown, I'm going to start to draw tree trunks. Okay, so in this case what you do is you want to lift up when you get to one of your leaves, and then continue on the other side. And you want to make it look as if the tree trunk is coming down and flowing out, so it's like you're looking up at the sky. Okay, and make sure every line is nice and solid. That's how that wax resist is going to work. Now some of your tree trunks can be shorter. Okay, that'll make it a little more interesting. Okay, so see how I made that one a little shorter, and make another one over here. And as you can see, I'm turning my paper here and there just because it makes it a lot easier. So you see already it's starting to give that impression that the tree is growing up, and then we're looking at each of our different tree trunks. So we're looking from down below, and each of our tree trunks is growing and reaching up to the sky. This gives you a radial design. Almost done with this part. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pause this so I can finish up, and you can as well, and then we'll come back to it once you've finished drawing. So go ahead and pause your video and you can keep working. Okay, so now what we've got is we've got everything traced, and I'm going to just take my marker and just start filling in my leaves. And it doesn't have to be really precise because we're going to spray it in just a minute with some water. So you want to get your color on there. Okay, that's one color. And I'm going to go ahead and add some more in. Now, I'm going to alternate and add some of these, a third color green in. It's going to be my teal or blue green. Now, you could do this as if it was a night sky, or you could do it daytime. It's entirely up to you. But what I want to show you is a technique that you can use to make it look a little more interesting. And it's going to be kind of what we call an ombre effect. And an ombre effect is when you have one color that's dark, and then it's going to kind of fade into a lighter color. Okay. Now, if you don't want your tree bark really solid, you see how I'm adding a little bit more haphazard on the brown here. Any tree trunks that you want darker, just add more color. Now, to get that ombre effect, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my blue, okay, but I'm going to put more color closer to the outer edges of my paper, and then as I get towards the center, I'm going to do a little bit less, almost like I'm doing the brown here. So I'm going to add a little bit less color. That's going to kind of give me a white or a faded look as I get towards the center of my paper. So it's like the sun is shining right up onto it, okay? Okay, so there, now we have our trees. And now I'm going to take my blue and have more color at the outer edge, just like I said. And then as I get closer in, I'm going to fade it basically to nothing. Okay, and so you can go ahead and, as I said, rotate that paper there. And the beauty of this is it's kind of abstract and you don't know what's going to happen, because once you've mist the paper with the water, you can get all kinds of really cool techniques and looks. It's where the water wants to go. That's what's going to take the paper. Okay, it's going to take that color and it's going to move it around, and it'll give you some really interesting techniques. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video for you, and you can go ahead and keep working, and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, welcome back. So now you see we finished all of our marker, and I'm taking a simple water bottle and I'm going to mist lightly. Okay, now you can see the water's already starting to move, and as it dries, you're going to get really cool little droplets. And you can already see some of the blue, since I colored it dark and then lighter as we got to the middle, it's already starting to move a little bit. So I hope you enjoy, and the next couple minutes is where the magic happens. So let it dry, and then we'll check it out in just a minute to see how our project finished up.